So we'll see the next concept, Venn diagrams. So Venn diagram is one of the important concepts in percentages. So mostly in data interpretation, so they'll give a paragraph and the data will be like participating in 3 games or taking 3 languages or only concepts or taking playing in 2 games. So whenever you get data of this type, so Venn diagram will be easier to work out. So sometimes data itself will be given and we can fill the circle. So Venn diagram is nothing but drawing circles for each data and filling the circles. So sometimes in questions they give the data itself or sometimes percentages will be given. So if percentage is given, we can fill the circle with percentage itself and then finally whatever is asked can be converted to the data. Say for example, so in an office, 50% of them, so 50% of the people in the office so drink coffee and 60% of them drink tea. So 30% so they drink both. So what percent so drank neither coffee nor tea. So here we have 2 details. So one is coffee and the other is tea. So it is enough if we draw 2 circles. Suppose if you have 3 data, so we'll draw 3 circles. So one is coffee circle and the other is tea circle. So when you are drawing this Venn diagram, see that you leave enough space to write the values in between the intersection part of these circles. And now 50% of them drink coffee, 60% of them drink tea and 30% drink both. So normally, so to fill this Venn diagram, so what is the intersection part has to be filled first. So because without subtracting, we'll be writing these values. So 30% of them drink both. So here what will be the value? It is 30%. And now we can fill this coffee and tea circle. So what percent drank coffee? 50%. So in this coffee circle, we should have 50% of the people. Already we have 30%. So subtract 30 from 50 and write 20% here. So now in coffee circle, we have 50% of the people in that office. And now for tea circle, you should have 60% of the people. So already we have 30%. So subtract 30 from 60. So what will be the value here? So it is 30 here. And when you check in tea circle, we have 60%. So now this is the part where the people drink only coffee, and this is the part where the people drink only tea, and this is the part where they drink both. So adding all this, so we'll get the detail of either coffee or tea. So this is the value which we get for either coffee or tea, or if they mention at least one, also will give you this value. Or this is equal to, if they ask at least one, either coffee or tea. So they drink only coffee, only tea or both. So at least one is one or more than that. And this is the part, neither coffee nor tea is the complement part, who don't drink coffee and tea. Neither coffee nor tea. So adding all, what is the value? So 30 plus 30, 60 plus 20. So we have who drink either coffee or tea as 80%. So now what percent of people drank neither coffee nor tea? So percentage means the whole is 100. So subtract 80 from 100. So now 20% of the people drank neither coffee nor tea. So it will be simple to place in the circles and then get the data. So this is the working called the Venn diagrams. So drawing circles according to the number of data, we draw the number of circles and fill in the circles. The intersection part is done first and then the remaining parts are filled, and overall value will be either or concept, and this subtracting from 100 we get neither or nor concept. Now based on this Venn diagram, we will see how to work out the examples. So we will see example 1. So the question is, in a town 45% of the population read magazine A, 55% read magazine B, 40% read magazine C, 30% read magazines A and B, 15% read magazines B and C, 25% read magazines A and C, and 10% read all the 3 magazines. So what percentage do not read any magazine? So this question was asked in UPSC exam, CSAT paper 2, August 23rd, 2015. So in this question we have 3 details. So people who read magazine A, B and C. So we'll draw 3 circles and fill the circles, and then we'll find what is the required answer. So drawing 3 circles A, B and C. So to fill these 3 circles, always fill the intersection of all the 3 and then come for details of 2 and then come for details of 1. So first fill all 3. So whenever you have 3 circles, so fill all 3 parts, and if you have only concept, so that is reading only magazine A or only magazine B, so that should be done. So here we don't have that type of data. So if you have this only concept, so next that has to be done. So because without subtracting, we'll be writing the answers as such. So in this question, so we don't have this only concept. So fill this all 3 detail and then come for so details which has 2 magazines A, B, B, C or A and C, and then fill for a single. So who read 1 magazine. So in this question, so when you are working this Venn diagram question, just give a glance at the whole question and then start filling it. So here 10% read all 3 magazines. So all 3 magazines is this part, so that has to be filled first. So 10% read all A, B and C. And now come for detail of 2 magazines. So we have the detail 30% read magazine A and B. So A and B who read is this part. So in this part we should have 30%, but already we have written 10%. So 20% subtracting 10 from 30. So 20% of the people are in this region. So here total 30% read A and B. 15% read magazines B and C. So in B and C intersection part is this one. So already we have 10. So subtract 10 from 15. So the remaining 5 is written here. And 25% read magazines A and C. So for A and C is this part. So we should have 25%. Already 10% is there. So subtracting 10 from 25, that is 15%. So after filling this 2 magazines detail, come for a single magazine detail. 45% read magazine A. So in this A circle, we should have 45%. So already we have 20 plus 10, 30 plus 15, 45. So all the 45 are placed here. And what will be the value here? Who read only A? So already we have 45. Who read only A is 0. So it is this part. where who read only A is 0%. And now 55% read magazine B. So in this magazine B circle, we should have 55%. And what are the values we have here already? So 20 plus 10, 30, plus 5, 35. Subtract 35 from 55. So it is remaining 20% who read only B. And now to fill the C circle, so it is 40% read magazine C. So in this 40%, so what are the values we have already here? So 15 plus 5, 20, plus 10, 30, and already 30% is placed here. The remaining, so subtract 30 from 40. So remaining 10% is for only C. Now what is the question asked? What percentage do not read any magazine? The one we have here is at least one or more than that, who read only one magazine or both or all three. And what is the value who don't read any magazines? So add all and subtract from 100. Now we have to add all the values and subtract it from 100. But instead of adding all the values, we can take any one circle detail. So what is B circle value? It is given as 55%. So actually when you add, you will get the same 55. And now instead of wasting time adding each and every detail, so taking for B circle 55, so add the remaining. So it is 15 and 10 added, so it is 80. So 80% of them read either magazine A or B or C. So what percent do not read any magazine? So subtract this 80 from 100. So it is, so 20% of them do not read any magazine, and the answer is option C, 20%. So as we have three details, draw three circles and fill accordingly, and adding all we get either or concept and subtracting it from 100, so we get 20% of them do not read any magazine. So answer is option C. So we'll see the next example. So example 2, the question is, in an examination, 70% of the students passed in English and 65% passed in maths. If 27% of the students failed in both the subjects and 248 students passed in both the subjects, then how many students appeared in that examination? So this question was asked for IDBI officer exam 2014. So here we have only two details. So we can draw two circles for maths and English. So in this, it is given that 27% of the students failed in both the subjects. So here data is given for passed and failed detail is given. So it means that in 100, 27% of them failed. So subtract 27. The percentage of students who passed will be got. So 100 minus 27 is 73. And equating all the values to 73, so we can arrive whatever is asked. So we'll see the working. So as we have two details, so we'll draw two circles. So maths and English. So this is the detail which is given for passed in maths and passed in English. And it is given that 27% of the students failed in both the subjects. So as it is percentage, subtract 27 from 100. So 73% of them passed in both, either in maths only or English only or in both. So the detail which we get here should be equal to 73%. And what percent of the students passed in English? So it is 70%. So we have to fill the intersection part. So but in this question, intersection part percentage is not given. So we'll take that as X%. But the value is given. So 248 passed in both the subjects. So we'll work out with percentages and we'll find what is the percentage got here. So now taking the intersection part as X%. So what is the percentage in maths? It should be 70. So for English it is 70. So subtracting X from 70. So it is 70 minus X percent. 70% minus X percent. And for maths it is 65%, subtracting X percent from 65, so we get here. Now when you add all this detail, so it should be equal to 73%, and equating this to 73, we can get the intersection part. So that is adding all 65% minus X percent plus X percent plus 70% minus X percent equal to the percentage who passed in both the subjects. So now cancelling this minus X and plus X, so we have 65 plus 70 is 135%, and sending this X percent there equal to X percent. Now subtracting, we get 62% as X. So it means that 62% of the students passed in both the subjects. So now what is the detail given? So the number of students who passed in both the subjects is given as 248. It means that 62% of the total is 248. So we are asked to find how many students appeared in that examination. That is the total number of students. Now if 62% is 248, so what will be 100%? So for that, cross multiply and divide. So dividing by 62. So 62 4 times. So 100% is, or total number of students is 400. So the number of students who appeared in that examination is 400, and it is option A, 400. So we'll see the next concept.